Hey guys, welcome back to Win and Bet Picks. My name is Gio and I'm here alongside Luca, and we're back here for yet another free pick. Today we'll be covering the Christmas Day special in the NFL as the New Orleans Saints host the Minnesota Vikings in what is supposed to be an interesting game. Luca, before we get started, we like to remind our viewers to like this video to show your support for the channel, as well to subscribe for daily sports betting videos as we post daily videos covering all major sports in the world. Just a couple of words before we get started on yesterday's pick. Of course, we had the Milwaukee Bucks minus 3.5 points on the Celtics. It was a good start for the Bucks. At one point they had a 9 point lead over the Celtics. However, deep in the third quarter, at one point they were down 17, and ultimately that's what unfortunately led to this poor result from the Bucks. They had made a good comeback as well in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, Giannis there missing the free throw to send the game to overtime, and yeah, that wasn't pretty, and that gave us the loss in yesterday's free pick. But let's turn our heads here to NFL. Of course, there's no games on December 24th at the time of this recording, and therefore we went forward and made this video for the 25th of December game between both the Vikings and the Saints. Of course, the Saints, we already mentioned it last week there, Luca. This is a team that is still looking to get that top seed in the NFC, which will possibly allow them, to get that bye in the first round and give them home field advantage for the rest of the postseason. However, it won't be an easy task as they have strong opponents playing against them there in the standings with both the Packers and also the Seahawks looking good. So it's going to be a tough one here with only 2 games remaining for the Saints, and they're hosting this Vikings team that is sitting 6-8. Their playoffs hopes are pretty much over with already. But it's going to be interesting because both teams are coming off 2 straight losses. So Vikings have pretty much only pride to play for, where Saints, on the other hand, have actually something to play for in the standings. So I'm curious to see how this one plans out for the Saints. Overall, I didn't really like that performance that they had against the Chiefs. Not quite sure how they put 29 points on the board. I think Breeze had a real stinker of a game, especially after coming back from injury. I'm not quite sure he has recovered just yet, and that is why I'm curious to see how he's going to lead this offense against this Vikings team that, let's be honest, is not a poor team whatsoever, especially on the road, only allowing 23 points or so on average. What sort of game can we be expecting here? Is this a straightforward win for the Saints, or you think Vikings will, maybe either pull an upset or give them some hard time in this one?
I don't think it's as straightforward as people may be led to believe. The Saints looked great before losing to Kansas and the Eagles. Of course, a loss to the Chiefs is understandable, but a loss to the Eagles is quite disappointing. Some major concerns with the Saints team. Number one, Drew Brees, as you mentioned, he's playing some rusty football right now, coming off an injury, and he doesn't seem to be in his groove. That first game back, definitely shaking off some rust. How is he going to shape up in the second game back? We'll see. It might take some time, maybe even 3 games to get back in the groove of things. Before he went down 21 TDs, 4 interceptions, he was looking great, but it's going to take some time for him to adjust. The second thing that concerns me here is the lack of Michael Thomas. What a dangerous weapon taken away from Drew Brees in the passing offense. He's a game time decision. It's at this moment, it's not looking likely that he'll play in this one. And then the third thing that concerns me is the form of this Saints defense. We've seen them be fantastic all year. However, the past 2 games, they haven't looked like themselves. A loss to the Eagles, the Eagles kind of bullying them a bit. So that is extremely concerning going into this matchup against a team where the Vikings, let's face it, they do focus on offense. They don't rely on their defense too much. Um, in terms of points and yards allowed against the pass and the run, the Vikings aren't the best at the moment. They do rely on a balanced attack to defeat opponents. But the real issue here is the form of Kirk Cousins all season. On paper, At the beginning of the season, many believed this Vikings team to be a serious contender for the Super Bowl. So many weapons: Thielen, Dalvin Cook, who leads the league, who's second best rusher at this moment in terms of yards and touchdowns. Justin Jefferson having a fantastic rookie season, but the guy who's in charge of making it all come together, Kirk Cousins, makes way too many mistakes. 29 touchdowns is a good number. He can score touchdowns, but 13 interceptions is just way too many for a team who's looking to remain competitive.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight game altogether, in my opinion. I don't see the Saints possibly having a super big advantage here on the Vikings. Of course, they are motivated to finish the season strong. Being at home, they're going to want to bounce back from those two losses. But let's not forget, this is a Vikings team that has given the Saints trouble in recent years. It always hasn't been a straightforward game for the Saints, and I'm expecting more of the same in this one. Like you mentioned there several times, the Vikings, not the best team in the league, of course, but they definitely show up to games, and they tend to keep things tight, especially on the road. Like I said, they only concede 23 points or so on average on the road. They're also not a very good offensive team on the road, only scoring 21 points. Um, Personally, guys, for our pick and prediction in this one, we're gonna go with the under 50.5 points. Um, Once again, our major concerns, like Luca and I mentioned before, is the inability for Breeze to set up his offense at this time, given the fact that he came back from injury. I'm not too sure if the Saints are going to be able to put up those, 30 points up on the board as you would normally expect them to do on any given night. And at the same time, the Vikings, they're not a very high scoring team on the road. And like I said, they're with 21.5 points averaging per road game. Is something that I'm expecting to go under the total. So give us the under 50.5 points in this one. Obviously, shop around for the best lines as usual, guys. At the time of this recording, this is what the line is set up. You can maybe still find it at 51 points depending on your sports book. Um, but definitely, it's a game to look at the total here, and I think the under is a good play. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. Let us know if you're tailing this pick or fading it, or if you're simply not touching this game at all. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily sports betting videos. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for yet another play. Until then, best of luck with your bets and have a great day.